jeez. I keep forgetting about that. All right, now we're good. Welcome to another edition of Play-by-Play with Dr. DeLay. I am Dr. DeLay, and of course we got the good old Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Chicago Cubs in Game 3 of the series. Pirates, of course, winning on Friday. Cubs winning yesterday. We got to cover that one. So the series decider here in Chicago. Of course, the Cubs, they are not playing up to par. They're still doing okay, 4-6 in the last 10. And normally that's not really a big deal, but they have found themselves 9 games back of the Brewers, who are 14 games, have won 14 games in a row. And they're looking for 15 today as they're playing the Reds. Again, the Cubs looking like they may be a wild card team after they've been pretty much the hottest team all year. But yeah, again, the Cubs, again, they still have a comfortable lead in the wild card, 4.5 games above the Mets, who again, they've been struggling as well. Of course, the Pirates 13.5 back. I mean, it's going to take a miracle. I'd say they're pretty much done. Stick a fork in them. They are done. Starting pitcher for the Pirates is going to be Carmen Mlodzinski, and I don't know how I feel about it because he's been very good out of the pen. He has been lights out. You can, in fact, see that last 7 games, 1.84. You push it back a little bit further. Last 15, 2.55 ERA. So, again, he's been very good out of the pen. As a starter, though, not necessarily the best. So we're going to hope that he is able to carry over that bullpen type of stuff as he is going to get the start today for the Pirates. For the Cubs, it's going to be a young guy. Well, maybe not young, but a guy that's very inexperienced. Okay, maybe just ignore that. He hasn't really played much this year. 0-1 record, ERA of a 9. He had a start last week where he lost to Toronto, 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Averaging a run an inning there. So he's looking for a bounce-back performance. And really, it's been a pitcher's duel this series. Pirates winning 3-2, Cubs winning yesterday 3-1. So, not much at the plate happening for him for both teams. So, might be beneficial to him. Starting lineup for the Cubs is going to be Bush at first, Tucker in right, Suzuki DHing, Crow Armstrong in center. Kelly, he is catching, Happ in left, Horner at second, Swanson at short, and Shaw at third. For the Pirates, it's going to be Simon in right, Horwitz at first, Reynolds DHing, Pham in left, Gonzalez at second, Sawinski at center, Triolo at short, Bart catching, and Kiner Falefa at third. Dallas, how's it going? Rising Rhino, shouldn't you be working? You should be at work right now. You got to be doing your football. Of course, football is awesome. Of course, preseason, it's kind of hasn't been kind to me, so that's why I'm retreating back to baseball. Of course, again, I do enjoy covering the Pirates. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your little halftime break. Rhino Raid. Yeah, no, thank you guys. Doctor, you a fan of Nick's? Bo is okay, Draven. He is okay. I wouldn't say he's, he has potential. I mean, he had a pretty good season last year. Look like they're about to throw down there, so we're about to get this game started. Smash that like button and subscribe. Again, thank you, Rising Rhino. The Rhino Nation. Appreciate you guys so much. I do appreciate you guys. Again, everyone, if you are not subscribed to Rising Rhino, definitely subscribe to Rising Rhino for all your football needs. Doing a preseason today. Of course, he does college, Canadian football, and stuff like that. Dallas, you'll be pleased to know that I'll be doing the Pirates Blue Jays this upcoming week. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Horner throws to first. Gets him by a step. 1 pitch, 1 out. Underway in Chicago. All right, that will bring up Spencer Horwitz. Spencer Horwitz batting .256, OPS of 700, 5 homers and 33 RBIs. Go Blue Jays. Go O's. Cheering for 2 rivals there, Card Crazed. Interesting. Here is the pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. Again, thank you guys so much for your boys are going down. Well, you know what? It's not really a surprise. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Horner getting some work. Throws to first for out number 2. 3 pitches. 2 outs. Looking a lot like the Pirates that we know and love. That'll bring up, again, Brian Reynolds, batting .242, OPS of .697, 13 homers and 61 RBIs. Red Sox friend needs us to sweep the Jays. Yeah, no, I mean, we can try to help him out. We probably will just take a game, though. Here is the pitch. That is outside, but it's called a strike. Assad gets a call there. I want Pirates to help my Brewers out with the win. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Yeah, a very exciting game yesterday between the Brewers and Reds. 0-1 counts. Here to Brian Reynolds. I think the Brewers and Reds were tied 0-0 earlier. I checked before I went on. Here's the 0-1. That is outside for ball 1. So very quickly again, 3 pitches, 2 outs to begin this ball game. As Reynolds sees the 1-1, that's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. We'll do what we can, Jason. I think we already have pretty much given all that we could. We took game 1. Of course, Jack Sawinski was the hero. As here is the pitch. That's going to be jammed, hit to left, and that is going to drop in for a base hit, a blooper. Reynolds, I don't know if he's going to 2. He is, and he is safe. A 2-out double for Brian Reynolds. A little blooper kind of jammed him in there. And, hey, he'll take it. We were ahead of the Brewers for a few days. Well, yeah, as far as the whole MLB, yeah, no, the Brewers have been just on fire. Yeah, no, I saw I covered the game last night, Brewers and Reds. That was a great game. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. My most viewed live stream. That's how good it was. People were coming to me for the game. I mean, geez, that is pretty cool. 0-1 counts. Here to Tommy Pham. Here is the pitch. That's going to be low, but it's called a strike. Umpire is very favorable to the Cubs as of now. Pham's batting .264, OPS of .711 on the year, 6 homers, and 34 RBIs on the season. As Hassan looks back at second, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Down goes Tommy Pham. 1 hit for the Pirates, but that is not enough as we head to the bottom of the first, where the score is 0-0. And yes, Dallas, again, my goal, it's looking like I may be able to do every single game of Pirates and Blue Jays this upcoming series. But again, I can't really promise. I can guarantee you Monday and most likely Tuesday. And possibly Wednesday. I think I'm off Wednesday, and I think that's going to be, it's possible I can do the whole series there. Of course, my goal is to try to get, I believe, Brewers and Cubs Wednesday night. But that one, I think that's more of a questionable one than the Pirates, Blue Jays for Wednesday. But yeah, folks, if you haven't done so already, definitely like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys for even clicking on the live stream. Again, shout out Rising Rhino. If you haven't checked out Rising Rhino, I'm not too sure if he's departed yet, but his name's still up there. Definitely check him out. He's got a blue wrench by him. He does a great job. He's been very supportive of the channel, so please support him. He is amazing. In the bottom of the 8th, the Phillies lead the Nationals 11-6. The Red Sox leading the Marlins 2-1. Rangers leading the Blue Jays 2-1. The Reds and Brewers are tied at 0 apiece. The Braves, they lead the Indians 1-0. Zeros across the board in Houston as they host the Orioles. And the White Sox lead the Royals 1-0. And the Yankees Cardinals just now getting underway just like this one. Zeros all across the board. Watching the game last night. Oh, thank you, Jason. That is so awesome. My friend's uncle is getting a 9-piece couch for a super small apartment. I'm like, why do you? I don't know. That's a very interesting decision there. I'm not going to have any room to walk around. Good afternoon, Hammer. Thank you for stopping by. Hammer's been pretty consistent here. I do appreciate you, man. Michael Busch will be leading off here. Batting .263, OPS of .850, 24 homers, and 68 RBIs, just trying to cut him in half for no reason. as Mlodzinski kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to center. And Sawinski is there to make the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Same exact thing for the Pirates when they were up. First 3 pitches of the game, and there was already 2 outs. That'll bring up Kyle Tucker. He's batting .265, OPS of .831, 18 homers and 62 RBIs on the season. Again, Mlodzinski has been very good out of the pen, moving him here to a starter where he did struggle at the beginning, so I'm a little bit nervous on his behalf as Tucker's going to ask for time. Of course, I do have a poll up. Feel free to check it out. Who wins today, Pirates and Brewers? 62% of you guys have the Pirates winning. I wish I was that optimistic for my Pirates. As Mlodzinski delivers. That is outside for ball 1. Doctor, you're going to go. Okay, Draven. Well, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Mlodzinski sets, kicks, and deals. That is going to be outside as well. So it's a 2-0 count. Gotta help my brother for practice for football. Okay, that'll be cool. Yeah, football season underway. Practices all around me in Texas. 2-0. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside ball 3. Man. And that one was a little bit further inside than earlier. Again, the umpire was favoring Assad with the calls, not necessarily with Mlodzinski. 3-0 counts. Here is the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. It better be. Kind of hesitated there, ump. Phil Cuzzy, the umpire, the home plate umpire, crew chief, definitely was giving Assad a lot of, room there in the strike zone. Here's the 3-1. That's going to be chopped to first. Horowitz takes it himself for out number 2. All right, that'll bring up Seiya Suzuki. He's had a very good year. He's batting .251, OPS of .822, 27 homers and 86 RBIs. Already crushing his career high of 21. As Mlodzinski sets, kicks, and deals. Ground ball to short. Triolo throws to first for out number 3. 7 pitches. That is it. We head to the top of the second. It's 0s in Chicago. Let's go, Bucks. Hey, Denny, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, can the Pirates steal a series in Chicago? It'd be pretty cool. I won't get my hopes up. I'm pretty realistic with. I'm sure most Pirates fans are pretty realistic with how we view the Pirates. Again, we're the Browns of Major League Baseball. Of course, the Browns fans are pretty delusional. Honestly, they are. Wow, yeah. They have the success of the Pirates and yet think they're the Yankees. Or, the Dodgers. Anyway, no more trashing them for now. We'll save that for the NFL season. Again, appreciate you guys for stopping on by in the live stream. Again, that definitely helps out this little channel. If you do like what you hear, definitely subscribe to the channel. Like it up. Press that like button. And also subscribe to the channel. Because likes are very important. They let YouTube know, hey, this guy... They love this guy. They like it at least, at the bare minimum. They got it, so it promotes me a little bit. Let's go Bucks because the Cubs suck. Well, I'm not going to say that. No, no. I'm assuming you might be a Brewers fan. I'm not too sure. I can't really see Bird Scout. Well, thank you for stopping by, of course. And really, the Brewers can say everybody sucks, but in reality, again, it's a good streak, but, don't want to peak too early and think that's one of the fears I would have if I'm a Brewers fan. I know some of the Brewers fans here have mentioned that in a previous live stream that, hey, we don't want to peak a little too early here. Nick Gonzalez is scheduled to be up. He's batting .274, OPS of .712, 5 homers and 19 RBIs. As we are again returning to coverage where it is 0-0 as Assad kicks and deals. That is outside for ball one. Assad only needed 10 pitches to get out of the inning. 1-0 count. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a chopper to third. Shaw throws to first for out number 1. That'll bring up Jack Suwinski. Was the hero on Friday, batting .125, OPS of .522, 3 homers and 6 RBIs. You fear that? Yes. Yeah, I know plenty of fellow Brewers fans for you, Jason. They voiced that concern as well, as Assad kicks and fires. That is outside for ball one. There we go. That's a more accurate call. Swinski got a haircut and all of a sudden became a hero. 1-0 count as Assad kicks and fires. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. Count is 1-1 to Jack Suwinski. Captain Jack. Definitely pulling for him. I just keep in mind that 2023 season. Here's the 1-1. That is upstairs ball 2. A lot of us in Milwaukee are nervous about. Yes, no. After talking to you guys, most of you guys pretty much share that. Again, I hate to bring it up all the time, but this is really the season I remember. Again, 26 home runs and 447 at bats for Jack Suwinski. OPS of near 800. That's what I hope this guy can be. Here's the 2-1. That is upstairs for ball 3. He does draw a lot of walks. That's another thing he does. Again, you can see the batting average at 125. On base, though, 160 points higher. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Throws to first for out number 2. And it's the same guy. That'll bring up Jared Triolo. Triolo's batting .193, OPS of .569, 3 homers and 13 RBIs on the season. Though career at Wrigley, he's very good. OPS of .1047. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Count is 0-1 to the shortstop, Jared Triolo. Of course, he can play anywhere. Won a Gold Glove as a utility player last year. Here's the 0-1. That is going to be in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Triolo asking about the spot, but no, it was actually a good call. Did catch a little bit of the zone, as it's very quickly 0-2. 0-2 count to Jared Triolo. Assad kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 1. Triolo's batting a little bit better as of late. You can see last 15 games batting 86. Last 7 batting .320. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. That's called strike 3. Look at me trying to praise him, and he strikes out looking. It says swinging, but he really, again, checked his swing. Anyway, we head to the bottom of the second. Your score is 0-0 Pirates and the Cubs. Once again, folks, thank you guys for stopping on by. Thank you for choosing me as your voice for this one. Again, feel free to press that like button, hit that like, and definitely subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. DeLay. Of course, it is mostly Pirates on the channel, but again, I do bounce around. And I don't want to promise anything, but the goal is for the next, again, I do Pirates, but it's a chance I do the Wednesday night game between the Brewers and the Cubs. So if you're a Cubs fan tuning in, well, hey, I might see you sooner than you think. Of course, the goal is, to do playoff baseball. So I'll definitely see you guys then. But I might see you Wednesday. And, of course, a little bit after that as well. We'll see. Again, the Cubs 9 games back behind the Brewers. They've been pretty dominant all year, but the Brewers are just on a legendary run. The Cubs, of course, leading, having that top spot in the NL wild card. That'll help. That kind of smooth things over a little bit. As here are the scores from around Major League Baseball. Again, the Phillies up on the Nationals 11-6. Red Sox lead. The Marlins 2-1. Zeros in Cincinnati, where they're hosting the Brewers. Rangers leading the Blue Jays 3-1. Braves over the Indians 1-0. White Sox over the Royals 1-0. And zeros across the board everywhere else. As due up for the Cubs will be Crow, Armstrong, Kelly, and Happ. As Mlodzinski throws, there's the throwdown. We're back in Chicago, where again the Pirates and Cubs tied at 0 apiece. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate, batting .259, OPS of .821, 27 homers and 79 RBIs. Mlodzinski sets and fires. That's going to be in there for a called strike. What does your pop think about the love Milwaukee is giving your show? You said before he doesn't like the Braves, or the Brewers, the Braves. He hasn't really commented on it. I don't know. I have to directly ask him. 0-1 count. Here is the pitch. Chopper to second. Gonzalez, boots it. Throws to first. Not in time. It was indeed a little bit of a tough play. This was a chopper going to his right. But they are saying it's an error, yes. And that is unfortunate. Again, that's a guy that you really don't want on the base paths. That'll bring up Carson Kelly. Batting .269, OPS of .830, 13 homers and 39 RBIs. Again, a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the second. But, Jason, I'll try to get you an answer by Wednesday. Of course, here is the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Again, nobody out here. One man on. We are going to convert him. No, I don't. He's Pirates for life. Here's the 0-1. That is in there for a called strike. Yeah, him and I, of course, we'll still be with the Pirates. We'll never give up, unless they move out of Pittsburgh. That is the only way. I don't know. That'd be unfortunate. Hopefully that never happens. 0-2 count here to Carson Kelly. Mlodzinski sets. He's still set. Kicks and deals. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. He struck him out. That is huge. Setting up a double play. Double play could be the inning ender. That'll bring up Ian Happ. Ian Happ is batting .225, OPS of .707, 16 homers and 55 RBIs. Normally does very well against the Pirates this series, though. He's 0 for 5, but he does have 3 walks. Mlodzinski delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Breaking ball had him out in front. Counts as 0-1 to Ian Happ from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here's the 0-1. That's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. 97 right down the middle. Here it is. Come and hit it. Can you do it? He didn't there. Very quickly, 0-2. Mlodzinski rocks, sets, kicks, and deals. That is going to be in there, but it's not called a strike. That was on the upper part of the zone. Not getting the call. 1-2. Being a Brewers fan historically has been easy, but I've never changed teams either. Yep. No, we're pretty loyal to our teams. Well, I am at least. I mean, he's always been a Pirates Steelers fan. Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt. Ball gets away, and he is going to take advantage. That is Pete Crow Armstrong taking second. Yeah, he is looking to go. Oh, man. Of course, taking advantage of the breaking ball. He's so fast. Light on his feet. 2-2 count. Mlodzinski looks back, kicks and deals. That's going to be a chopper, and that is a foul ball. Cubs with the runner in scoring position, just 1 out in the bottom of the second. Ian Happ at the plate. Mlodzinski rocks, sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit to center, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. That's most likely going to score. It does. Crow Armstrong up 1-0. Man. All because of a curveball in the dirt, putting Crow Armstrong at second, and just like that, Cubs leading 1-0. That'll bring up Nico Horner. He's batting .294, OPS of .719, 4 homers and 48 RBIs. Runner on first. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Smolzinski sets. Kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 1. 98, but definitely pulled it there. 1-0 here to Nico Horner. Smolzinski sets. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is going foul. Ronnie Simon on the run there, but luckily that went into the seats because that line, that wall is right there on the line. 1-1 count. As Horner, I believe, asked for time. I don't know. I have a little bit of a delay here. Yeah, he did. All right, stepping back in is Nico Horner. Again, a runner on first, bottom of the second, 1 out. Cubs leading 1-0. Smolzinski sets. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is once again a foul ball. One and two to the second baseman. Smolzinski sets. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right. Simon running, making the catch for out number 2, and that'll make Hap go back. All right, that'll bring up Dansby Swanson. Swanson's batting .248, OPS of .702, 18 homers and 55 RBIs on the season. Again, a runner on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Cubs leading 1-0 over the Pirates, over my Pirates. Smolzinski delivers. That is going to be outside for ball 1. Smolzinski, the Dansby Swanson is 1 for 8. He's 1 for 8 in the series. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be foul ball as that one went straight back to Bart's face. Oh my goodness, that was loud. Just got a piece of it and just went right back into, 1-1 count here is again Bart is shaking it off. He's getting back into it. Now he's taking his mask off again. All right, there we go. We're back. 1-1 count again. Runner on first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Swanson at the plate. Okay, maybe we're not getting back into it. I don't know. He's back in position. The umpire finally going back. All right, there we go. Swanson stepping back into the box. As Smolzinski sets on the 1-1. Kicks and deals. That's going to be, it's going to be outside apparently. 2-1 right on the outside corner, but unfortunate. Again, the Cubs seem to be getting the calls today. Not saying that's the reason they're going to win, but, unfortunate. 2-1. Smolzinski delivers. That's going to be hit to center. Sawinski running back at the wall, making the catch at the ivy for out number 3. Well, the Cubs put across a run as they lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the third inning. Once again, folks, thank you guys for clicking on this live stream. Again, if you're able to, definitely leave a like, press that like button, and definitely subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. DeLay. Of course, as you can see, I'm a Pirates fan, but postseason baseball is not too far away, and I'll be doing the postseason. Of course, my Pirates won't be there, so I'll be Trying to do as many teams, specifically in the NL, because, again, for some reason I've done a lot of NL this year, and I'll just go ahead and keep that going for the playoffs. So, yeah, probably see the Cubs there. Hopefully I see you there. Again, make sure to like and subscribe. Of course, again, I do a lot of Pirates, but I do try to mix it up. Again, yesterday I did 2 games, Pirates and Cubs, and, of course, the Brewers and the Reds. And that was a pretty legendary game, as the Brewers broke a franchise record, winning 14 in a row. Again, I do try to bounce around, and there's a possibility I can do Cubs and Brewers this Wednesday. I don't want to say I'm doing it 100%, but there's a very good chance I can make that happen. And, of course, football will be on this channel as well if you're a football fan. Plenty of football. A lot of Steelers football, of course, but I'll be having polls every single week, starting with week 1, of course. And whoever wins the poll, whatever game, is the game I'll do right after the Steelers game. So hopefully that sounds good to you, for you to press that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free. Will not cost you a dime. 2 up for the Pirates will be Bart, Kiner-Falefa, and Simon. So the Pirates, again, just have 1 hit. Of course, we're just now entering the top of the 3rd inning. And they are showing O'Neal Cruz again. He's in the concussion protocol, just trying to slowly get back into playing. Pirates, of course, not the greatest offense with or without him, but hey, he helps. That'll bring up Joey Bart. He's batting .243, OPS of .667 will round up. Two home runs and 19 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. Apparently, the NFL is on this channel. That's interesting. 0-1 counts. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Throws to first for out number 1. That'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He is batting .267. OPS of .637. 1 home run and 33 RBIs. That's a little bit annoying. I don't know why those are here. As Assad kicks and deals, that's going to be in there for a called strike. 0-1 to the now 3rd baseman, Kiner-Falefa. Here's the pitch. That is going to be outside for ball 1. 1-1, here is the pitch. That is going to be low for ball 2. Going to probably have to change something. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be low for ball 3. So 3-1 to IKF. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. The Cubs leading 1-0. Assad kicks and deals. Ground ball up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. There we go, a 1-out single for IKF. That'll bring up Ronnie Simon. He's batting .232, OPS of .591. No homers and 5 RBIs on the season, of course. He's a rookie. Made his debut in April. Frank, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. That's Assad. It's going to pick off, or attempt to pick off IKF, but IKF is back safe and sound. And the Pirates with a runner on first here in the top of the 3rd, trying to tie it up. Assad delivers. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. 0-1 to Ronnie Simon. 5'8", 150 pounds. He is a pretty small guy. Not going to lie, that is small. Here's the pitch. That is going to be outside, as it's 1-1. 5'8", 150. Of course, it doesn't really matter how small you are. If you can hit, you can hit. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be hit, and that is going foul. Count is again 1-2. IKF, he's at first with one out here in the top of the third. The Pirates trail the Cubs 1-0. As they attempt to try to tie it up here as Assad sets. And a pickoff attempt. And IKF is safe and sound. Keeping an eye on Kiner Falefa. He's got some speed. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he can be pretty good, as that's going to be a ground ball, and that is a foul ball. Pretty cool to see the famous Dr. Delay. Oh my goodness, famous. Yeah, I don't know about that. But thank you very much. Thank you very much, Frank. I appreciate it. I try. Maybe one day I'll be famous, but probably not. Probably not anytime soon. Probably not anytime soon at all. As Hassan looks over at first. He sets, kicks, and deals. Ground ball, and that is going to be an out as Bush just quickly had it and stepped on first. Of course, IKF was running, so he was able to prevent the double play there. That will bring up Brian Reynolds, as again, I don't understand why in the world we have the bots here. It's not even NFL. I'm not even doing the NFL. Again, Spencer Horwitz coming to the plate here as Hassan kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right. And that is going to drop for a base hit. Pete Crow Armstrong has it, throwing it in. Horwitz is at second. He's safe as IKF comes across to score. Tying it up here in Chicago is Spencer Horwitz. Hitting it into the gap. Taking advantage of IKF, of course, being at second. Of course, IKF just running on contact. And again, he's not the fastest guy. But he's definitely able to round third and, of course, and head to home. So there we go. 1-1 here in Chicago as the Pirates tying it up. That'll bring up Brian Reynolds. It's batting .244, OPS of .702 as Hassan looks back at second. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit, and that is a foul ball. In PAS, you are my apology. No, there's you're no pressure. I just hope to do a good enough job. Again, PAS, he has definitely been very supportive of me, so I really appreciate him. He has been a big supporter. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be hit to center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Oh, takes a wonky bounce. Pete Crow Armstrong's throwing to home, and that's going to keep Horwitz at third. Again, Pete Crow Armstrong has an arm, and Horwitz just not the fastest guy in the world, and not a good combination for the Pirates. So wisely keeping him there. So me coming as good luck. It might be that case, Frank. You might need to be here for the last 39 games or so. Or 38 games. Pirates will go undefeated, Frank, if you're here, and maybe we sneak into the playoffs. Assad sets, kicks, and deal. That's going to be hit to right. And Tucker makes the catch, though that one may have misjudged it. All right, the Pirates tie it up as we head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-1 in Chicago. Jason P., I hope the streak keeps going, but hate the Brewers because of the Randall Simon curse. I do like grilling sausage links too. Yeah, so Jason, I don't remember if I don't know if you're still here or not, but Jason, yeah, no, so Trisk is my dad. So there you go. So there's your answer. Again, thank you very much, Trisk, as always. Once again, folks, if you haven't done so already, definitely make sure to press that like button and definitely subscribe to the channel if you're a baseball fan. If you're a sports fan in general, of course, I do mostly Pirates, but of course I'll be doing postseason. So I'll most likely be doing some Cubs games very, very soon. Very, very soon. Here are the scores from around Major League Baseball. The Phillies lead the Nationals 11-9. Red Sox leading the Marlins 2-1. Tied in Cincinnati as they host the Brewers. Rangers over the Blue Jays 6-1. Indians leading the Braves 4-1. White Sox over the Royals 1-0. Orioles leading the Astros 1-0. And zeros elsewhere. Made me smile. Much appreciated. Oh, yeah, hey, I try. Let's see. I might have to change something real quick. I will switch to the big screen. I'm very sorry. You're probably going to have to see this ugly face. But I need to change something to try to combat the bots. And they're still going to be here. But I must try to get these bots out of here. All right, we are returning to Chicago, where again it's 1-1. So again, bear with me, trying to see if I can change something. All right, we're going to go ahead and change that. All right, this is Matt Shaw at the plate. Here's the pitch. That is going to be in there for a called strike. And I do apologize. Have to put it on slow mode, which it shouldn't impact this chat. But it should keep the bots from being less annoying. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to short. Triolo has it. Throws to first for out. Number 1. All right, now we'll get back to the... I didn't get to say his stats. We'll get it next time. All right, with one out here in the bottom of the third, that will bring up Michael Busch. He's batting .262, OPS of .848, 24 homers and 68 RBIs. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Question, do you do hockey or football? Oh, I love football, Frank. I'll be doing a lot of football on the channel every single week. Again, for the NFL, I'll be having polls that you guys will be voting for. So you guys will have a lot of say on what I do for the NFL. As that's going to be in there for a called strike. And then college football, of course, I'll be doing some college as well. Probably more so college than the NFL, but obviously on Sundays, we'll be here. Jiraiya says, go team. Thank you for stopping by. Very neutral stance there. I respect it. 0-1 count. Mlodzinski sets and fires. Swing and a foul tip actually got a piece of it. 0-2. 0-2 count. Yes, I'll be doing against Steelers. And then, of course, again, you guys will have all the say in what the other game will be that Sunday. As that's going to be in the dirt. As it's 1-2 to the first baseman, Michael Busch. Again, it's 1-1 here in the bottom of the third. 1 out. Of course, the Cubs struck first in the bottom of the second. The Pirates retaliated with one of their own in the top of the third. Mlodzinski sets and fires. Chopper back to the pitcher. Mlodzinski tosses to first for out number 2. And as for hockey, though, Frank, I don't really know too much about hockey, but I have promised one of my subscribers, one of my early subscribers, I would give it a shot for one game. One game. I'll see how I do, and if I have some success, then you know what, maybe I'll do hockey on the channel. But that won't be happening, though, of course, until after the football season has concluded. That'll bring up Kyle Tucker. He's 0 for 1 on the day as Mlodzinski sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be in the dirt, ball 1. Tucker is batting .264, OPS of .830, 18 homers, and 62 RBIs. Girlfriend just said Pittsburgh will win. Ooh. I hope she's right, but I think we may have already gotten our win on Fridays. That's going to be in there for a called strike. So the count is 1-1. Can you do women's NCAA volleyball? I have never really put... I don't know how I'd call a volleyball match. I'm not too familiar with volleyball, Terry. I'm sorry. Maybe another... I don't know. It'd be much later in the future. That's a swing and a miss. 1-2. It's primarily just football, baseball, and, of course, some college basketball. But we'll see. You know, if there's like a day where there's nothing happening and I have some free time, then might as well, you know. And I'll probably fail miserably, but I'll say I at least tried it. But I don't want to, like, promise you, yeah, I can do it. You know, I just don't know. 1-2 count. Mlodzinski delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Mlodzinski keeps it 1-1 as we head to the top of the fourth. All tied up here in Chicago. All right, we got some scores for you again. The Phillies have just defeated the Nationals 11-9. That was the Roku early game. Very interesting. Very interesting. I like the fact that there's like an early game. Let's see. The Red Sox defeat the Marlins 2-1. Brewers and Reds 0-0. Very interesting. The Rangers they are over leading right now over the Blue Jays 6-1. The Indians leading the Braves 4-1. White Sox leading the Royals 1-0. Orioles currently ahead of the Astros 1-0. And of course there's zeros in the other games: New York and St. Louis, and Detroit and Minnesota. By New York as in the Yankees, by the way. Once again, thank you guys so much for even clicking on the live stream. Obviously, I'm not the most well-known YouTuber or whatnot. I don't know what you'd really call me, play-by-play guy, streamer, whatever. But, yeah, this is what I've been doing since opening day. I'm not going away anywhere, so don't hesitate to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Again, this is what I've been doing since opening day with no plans on stopping anytime soon. Of course, if you're a Pirates fan, again, this is what I mostly do. I mostly do the Pirates. And I will, of course, be back tomorrow for Blue Jays and Pirates. As far as the Cubs, again, I'll be doing postseason baseball, so I'll definitely see you guys there, as I don't think the Pirates are making the playoffs. I mean, just going to take an educated guess there. Nick Gonzalez will be leading off in the top of the fourth. He's batting .273, OPS of .710, 5 homers, and 19 RBIs on the season. As again, the Cubs, they have a pretty loyal fan base. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. Barely any empty seats there at the classic Wrigley Field. 0-1 is Nick Gonzalez on the day. Here's the 0-1 now. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Assad, again, his last start, 4 innings, 4 earned runs. So far, much better against the Pirates, as that's going to be outside for ball 1. Yes, I'm trying to jinx them a little bit. Trying to jinx Assad. Here is the 1-2. That's going to be hit, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Look at the announcer's curse go. It's too good. Assad, he does look pretty good, though. He's done a good job. That'll bring up Jack Sawinski. He's batting .124, OPS of .517, 3 homers and 6 RBIs on the season. He's 0 for 1 today. Let's get this thing going. Yeah, no, we need some runs. It's been a pitcher's duel all series. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. And that did catch the zone, but, again, it's really favored the calls have favored the Cubs today, honestly. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be outside for ball 1. Not saying that's going to be the reason the Cubs beat the Pirates. Again, the Cubs are a much better team, but I'm going to call it like it is. Going to call it like it is. 1-1 count. Assad looks over at first. Kicks and deals. That is going to be low for ball 2. 2-1. Again, the Pirates, of course, winning 3-2 on Friday. The Cubs winning 3-1 yesterday. Again, it's been a pitcher's duel all series. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball, and that is a foul ball. Always make sure to have 2 bottles of water every single stream. Definitely helps out the voice. As Assad sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be chopped off his foot. Oh, man, Sawinski reacted very negatively to that. Oh, it may have hit the ankle. Oh, that is tough. He doesn't have any shin guards or anything. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Right there on the ankle. Oh, thank you, but not thank you, NFL game streaming on NFLCBS.com. Not even doing football now. 2-2 counts. Assad looks over. Kicks and deals. That's going to be popped up, and that will get out of play. So we'll do this again. That's going to be fun. I can't wait to deal with that for football. Count is 2-2. Assad looks over at first. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit, and once again is fouled off. Sawinski just staying alive. So 2-2 count as Assad is actually stepping off to go get a baseball. So that one, I don't know where the baseball went or came from. 2-2. Assad looks over at first. Kicks and deals. And that is going to be low for ball 3. So Sawinski working the count. Again, he's struggled to make contact. When he does, though, it's usually a pretty big hit. Pick-off attempt. And Gonzalez is back safe and sound. Speedy Gonzalez. Again, he's pretty fast. Not the fastest guy. Not like Crow Armstrong, but he's got a lot of speed on him. 3-2. Assad delivers. Ground ball to first. Uh-oh. There's one. And got him. Double play. Sawinski can't believe it. He thinks he may have been safe. Kelly is putting his hand up just in case. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to challenge. It looked like he got there in time. So there is going to be an out, but I believe Sawinski. Yeah, Sawinski's safe. Yeah, that was. All right, well, it is going to be an out, but again, Sawinski should be at first. Umpire just was going with the moment. He really liked the double play. Thomas, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by, man. I don't know, how did the Red Sox do today? I haven't really been. Are they playing yet? No, they're up. Okay, they're up 2-1 on the Marlins. Okay, good stuff there. Frank, yeah, challenge that. I know that was just not a. The umpire was just in the moment. Got caught up in the moment. Hey, we all get caught up in the moment. You know, oh, look at this nice play, double play. The crowd's loud. Yeah, let's go ahead. No, he's going to be safe. Yep. He's safe. The call on the field is overturned. Sawinski is at first. And Sawinski, again, he's also has some sneaky speed as well. Not as fast as Triolo or Gonzalez. That'll bring up again Triolo batting .191, OPS of .565, 3 homers and 13 RBIs on the season. One out here in the top of the 4th. One man on. Assad looks over at Sawinski. Assad sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be low for ball 1. Tomorrow's your birthday. Well, happy early birthday, man. Happy early birthday. Hopefully the Red Sox win tomorrow. I'm assuming they play tomorrow. Most teams usually do. 1-0 count. Assad kicks and deals. That's going to be popped up, and that is out of play. Once again, a 1-1 count here to Jared Triolo. Playing a little bit better as of late, but, you know, of course, for the season, it'd be counted as disappointing, as that's going to be low for ball 2, 91 below the knees. So a 2-1 count to Jared Triolo. Again, Pirates, Cubs tied at 1 apiece. Cubs did strike first in the bottom of the second. And then the Pirates retaliated in the top of the 3rd. Here is the pitch. That is a breaking ball away for ball 3. So 3-1. As Assad looks over at first. Rocks, sets, kicks, and fires. Chopper, foul. Red Sox play the Orange Hummingbirdies. Oh, okay. A little smack talk there of the Orioles. Orioles I'm sure they would admit, their fan base would say that was a disappointing year for the Orioles. A lot of expectations there with that young core. 3-2 count. Assad sets, kicks, and deals. That is outside. Ball 4. Sawinski was on the run, but did not matter. And that will bring up Joey Bart. Batting .242, OPS of .664, 2 homers and 19 RBIs. It'd be nice to see a Bart dart here. I've only seen 2 of those all year. Of course, if you're a Pirates fan, tune in, live around the area. Sesame Street Day on August 24th against the Rockies. That would be that'd be nice there for the Munchkins. And there is a mound visit here, so bear with me, folks. Again, folks, if you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And a super thank you if you're able to subscribe. Of course, again, it is mostly Pirates on the channel. So if you're a Pittsburgh fan, hey, this is brilliant. This is a brilliant way to, there we go, to get some more Pirates and, of course, Steelers and all that stuff. But what happened to the double play? The double play did not. It was overturned because Sawinski beat him out there, Nick. I'm sorry. All right, looks like we're back. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. Breaking ball drops in there. 0-1 counts here to Joey Bart. Again, runners on first and second. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. 1-1 is your score. Assad looks back at second. Kicks and deals. That is low for ball 1. Count is even, 1-1. BRB must feed my tuxedo cat. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Here's the 1-1. That is outside, ball 2. Well, again, thank you, Frank, for stopping by. I understand about the cats. They get 2 meals over here. 1 in the morning, 1 in the night. They ain't get nothing in between. They're not going to fool me. I know they've eaten plenty. Might seem like it's cruel, but come on. Let's be real. They get plenty of food. 2-1 count. Assad sets. Looks back at second. Looks back again. Kicks and fires. That is taken for a called strike. 92 on the outside part of the plate. Bart is 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out in the 3rd. Cubs would love that here. Assad looks back. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Down goes Joey Bart. And that will bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. It's batting .269, OPS of .641. 1 homer and 33 RBIs on the season. He's 1 for 1 on the day. There we go. Here is the pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 1. Sometimes the Pirates broadcast will do their best to not show the game, and I was getting a little bit frustrated there. But I'm glad they did. So 1-0 count to IKF. Again, runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to right, and that is a foul ball. Bart doing what he does best. Oh, yes, James. You know ball, James. You know ball. 1-1 count here to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Assad kicks and deals. That's in there for a called strike. 1-2. Wasn't he a Yankee? I'm assuming you're talking about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Yes, Mr. Frank, he was. 1-2 count. Assad looks back at second. Looks back again. Kicks and fires. Tapper to third. Shaw has it. Throws to first for out number 3. All right, nothing doing there for the Pirates. So we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is 1-1. Bart is Doc's favorite player. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, he is so awesome. Big fan of Joey Bart. Big fan of that hard-working player. Yeah, he whiffed. It kind of was so predictable. I was honestly expecting a double play there. Once again, folks, if you enjoy a Pirates therapy session, definitely subscribe to the channel. But no, if you like play-by-play, that's what I do. Again, it is a lot of Pirates on the channel. I'm a Pirates fan, but again, postseason baseball is not too far away, and I'm sure the Cubs will definitely be there. So I will see them there. Hopefully I see you there as well. Make sure to like and subscribe for more play-by-play with Dr. DeLay. A lot of baseball, a lot of football on the channel. And if that's not enough, again, I'll be doing college basketball. If that's the deal breaker, if you require 3 sports, well, hey, college basketball, I can offer that once the football season has concluded. You're still learning? Oh, I know, you're good. You're good. You're good, man. Again, I appreciate you for tuning in. Again, everyone, thank you guys for even clicking on the live stream. It really does help this channel out a lot. It really does. But a super thank you again if you're able to press that like button, because it tells YouTube, hey, we need to push this guy. Doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but those who watch seem to like it. Due up for the Cubs will be Suzuki, Crow, Armstrong, and Kelly. The Pirates, I'll go ahead and move my big fat head. You can see the Pirates with 5 hits today. The Cubs only have 1, and yet the score is, of course, tied 1-1. All right, looks like we're returning to Chicago, where, again, the Pirates and the Cubs are tied at 1 apiece. Seiya Suzuki is going to be coming to the plate here to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th, as here is the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. Suzuki batting .251, OPS of .821, 27 homers, and 86 RBIs. So 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Slow mode is on. It's only because of the bots, the NFL bots, Trisk. I'm sorry. 1-1 counts. Molzinski kicks and deals. Ground ball to third. IKF has it. Throws to first for out number 1. Nice snag by IKF. That will bring up Pete Crow Armstrong. He is 0 for 1, reached on an error. Batting .258, OPS of .819, 27 homers, and 79 RBIs on the season. Dan, let's go Cubs. Dan, a big Cubs fan, or at least pulling for him here. Might have money on him. Who knows? That's going to be chopped foul. 0-1. Thank you, of course, for stopping by, Dan. Appreciate you. Hopefully I do a decent enough job for you. As, again, the Pirates and Cubs tied at 1 apiece. Cubs trying to keep pace with the Brewers, winners of 14 in a row. I'll definitely have to, of course, check back after this inning. We'll see what's happening out there in Cincinnati. 0-1 counts. Kicks and deals. That is upstairs for ball 1. Let's go Pirates. Yeah, the Pirates. Be nice to see them win again one day. Winning season, of course. Get to the playoffs would be nice. Here is the 1-1 showing bunt. It is down, but he hit himself. Crow Armstrong showing frustration there. The count moves to 1-2. Again, nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. PCA at the plate. 1-1 is your score. Molzinski rocks, sets, kicks, and fires. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A splitter in the dirt, or changeup, pardon me. Same thing, kind of. That'll bring up Carson Kelly. Carson Kelly is batting .268, OPS of .828, 13 homers and 39 RBIs on the season. Kelly is 0 for 1 on the day. Molzinski delivers. That's going to be hit to center. Sawinski at the ivy makes the catch as his back is touching the green over there. That is a loud out number 3. Nothing doing for the Cubbies as we head to the top of the 5th. It's still 1-1. Is that you in the profile photo? Yeah, thank you for your service, Dan. Always gotta honor the people that would, sacrificing yourself for. Yeah, I could never do that. My dad pushed me to go to the military. I'm just not that guy. I am not a manly man. Again, the Brewers actually are tied again with the Reds. Reds actually with runners on the corners with nobody out. Oh, that's interesting. And the Brewers with a 14-game winning streak. It's on the line. It's on the line. Of course, we thought it may have been ending yesterday at 13, but the Brewers did rally back in extras. Of course, the Red Sox leading the Marlins 3-1. Rangers, leading the Blue Jays 8-1. Indians leading the Braves 4-3. Orioles leading the Astros 1-0. White Sox leading the Royals 1-0. New York and the Cardinals, the Yankees and the Cardinals are tied at 0 apiece. Tigers and Twins 1-1. Diamondbacks, Rockies 0-0, and the Phillies defeated the Nationals 11-9. You're an ex-Army Ranger. Well, again, thank you very much for your service. I do appreciate you. I really do. It's really cool. My dad also, he was in the Army Reserve, so little bit of a connection there. Again, I'm kind of a wimpy dude. I'll be straight up honest with you guys. I'm not. I do like structure and discipline, though I lack both. I lack both, but I like the idea. It's really cool. I lack them both. Taylor Rogers is going to be the new pitcher. Assad's day is done. Pretty solid day. Taylor Rogers 2-2, 2.23 ERA, whip of a 1.40. As stepping up to the plate is Ronnie Simon. Ronnie Simon is 0 for 2. Batting .228, OPS of .581, no homers and 5 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That is outside for ball 1. Wasn't Georgia Fort Benning back when it was called out? Okay. I gotcha. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be hit, and that is a foul ball. Christopher reporting that the Reds are now up 1-0 on the Brewers in the bottom of the 7th. Wow, 1-1 count here to Ronnie Simon. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped up. Bush is under it and will make the catch for round number 1. All right, that'll bring up Spencer Horwitz. He's 1 for 2. Batting .258, OPS of .706, 5 homers and 34 RBIs. Brothers in arms. As Rogers sets, kicks, and deals. And looks like, I don't know if he made contact or not. 0-1. Yeah, no, they're saying it's 0-1. Horwitz is saying he didn't touch it. That's why I was wondering. That was very interesting. Kelly is going to see if he did touch it. Horwitz is pretty sure he didn't touch it. Take the look here. I can't really tell. That's a very interesting. Keep it going. Okay. All right, it's an 0-1. Horwitz is like, I didn't touch it. Horwitz is saying he didn't touch it. Oh, well, hey, it's going to be an 0-1. I heard a lot of noise there. Just wasn't sure of the bat. Horwitz is still kind of arguing about it. Okay. All right, here's the 0-1. That's going to be in there for a called strike. A slow slurve sweeper. I'm not too sure. Breaking ball. 0-2 count. Here to Horwitz. He's going to ask for time. Yeah, I figured that was coming. Feels like he should be at least at 1-1, but 0-2 counts. Lefty on lefty. Rogers sets, kicks, and deals. That is going to be upstairs for ball 1. Again, 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI double in the 3rd. Rogers delivers. That is going to be low. So it's 2-2. Once again, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. 1 out. 1-1 is your score in Chicago. Rogers delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A slider way outside. It just looks so good. I've been the victim of that in MLB The Show plenty of times. That'll bring up Brian Reynolds. He's batting .246, OPS of .705, 13 homers and 61 RBIs. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a double in the 1st. As Rogers delivers, that's going to be in there for a called strike. 0-1. Rogers sets and fires. That is going to be way inside for ball 1. Again, I do have a poll up. Feel free to make your voices heard. 25 votes in. 52% of you guys think the Pirates are going to win today. As here is the 1-1 swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 count. Reynolds for his career against Rogers is 2 for 10. Maybe looking like it may be 2-11 here. As a Rogers sets, kicks, and deals. That is inside for ball 2. Count is 2-2. Rogers sets and fires. That is inside for ball 3. So a 3-2 count to Brian Reynolds. Again, he's 2 for 2 on the day. He's had a pretty good day. Rogers sets, trying to keep this inning alive. Here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. Very good contact there. Just got out in front of it. All right, Reynolds digging back in. Again, a 3-2 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Nobody on. Rogers sets, kicks, and deals. Tapper right in front of the catcher and pitcher. Rogers throws to first. Oh, the throw is away, and Reynolds is taking off to second. Horner tossing it in. So Reynolds reaching on an error, keeping the inning alive. Again, he was booking it, rushing the throw, and the throw was a little bit off. That'll bring up Tommy Pham. He's batting .262, OPS of .706, 6 homers and 34 RBIs. Again, he's cooled a little bit as of late, but, ever since late June, he's been a much different player, much better player. As Rogers sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit, and that is caught by Shaw. Unbelievable play. Pham is irate. Just a missile. But Shaw contains it. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The score is still 1-1. Oh, man. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Of course, the Cubs fans pretty happy about that. Once again, folks, make sure to press that like button. Kind of looks like that or like that. Again, I think I was told, right hand, if I remember. But yeah, definitely, again, thank you guys for even clicking on the live stream. That helps out a lot. But a super thank you if you're able to press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Again, it's a lot of baseball, a lot of football. Of course, it's a lot of Pirates. But again, I do bounce around Major League Baseball. And of course, again, I can't promise you guys, but I definitely believe I'll be returning to the Cubs Wednesday night. Cubs versus Brewers, possible doubleheader for me. I did a doubleheader yesterday, Pirates Cubs, and then Brewers Reds later that night, and it's very likely that I will be doing a doubleheader again Wednesday, as I am off Wednesday, so I will probably take advantage of that. And of course, if you like the NFL, I'm a big NFL guy. In fact, I love football. That is really my number one. I'll be doing, of course, every single Steelers game, but of course, you guys will be voting on the channel for what games I call after the Steelers game, because the Steelers mostly play in the opening window. So polls every single week. Whatever wins, I will call. So definitely subscribe to be a part of that. Looks like we will have a pitching change as we're working our way back to Chicago, where again it's 1-1. Colin Holderman. He has not pitched in the majors since May. Maybe we see a different Colin here, as he's 0-1, ERA of a 9. Again, he has struggled this year. Used to be pretty solid. Looked like we had won the trade, but then he had regressed. This will bring up Ian Happ. Probably happy to see Holderman Batting .227, OPS of 709, 16 homers and 56 RBIs. Again, he's just Holderman just looking to find that form that he once had. Pirates love to leave cheese on the bases. Let's go, says Dan. Here is the pitch. That is in the dirt, ball one. Again, Holderman hasn't pitched in the majors in 3 months. Is this a different guy? Is this the guy we acquired from the Mets? 1-0 counts. Holderman kicks and deals. That's going to be popped up. And that is a foul ball. All right, 1-1 count again. Nobody on, nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Pirates and Cubs 1-1. Winner of today wins the series. Low scoring series. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 83 on the breaking ball there. Had Happ way out in front. One and two. Holderman delivers. That's going to be low for ball two. Trying to find a good comfortable spot here. This dang chair. 2-2 count. Holderman. Oh, looks like we're going to... Someone asked for time. There we go. All right, Happ steps back in. Holderman sets on the 2-2. Kicks and deals. That's going to be inside ball three. Breaking ball. Laying off it there. Holderman again looking for some confidence as Holderman will step off. All right, we're back. Count is full. 3-2 to Ian Happ. Holderman sets, kicks, and deals. Inside, ball four. Holderman thought he got him, was walking off the mound, but no, sir. So Happ, a leadoff walk. And Andrew Heaney, the former Pirates starter, now in the bullpen. He is warming up. That'll bring up Nico Horner. He's batting .293, OPS of 718, 4 homers, and 48 RBIs. Runner on first. Horner 0 for 1 on the day as Holderman sets, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike one, 97. On the inside corner. Flew out in the second inning. Did the message feed stop? I don't know. Again, it's I had to put slow mode on. Here is the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball one. One and one here to Nico Horner. Holderman looks over at first. Sets. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to left, and that is hooking foul. Again, 1-1 is your score here in Chicago. Last update, I believe the Reds had taken the lead. Again, 1-0. I'll have to check that in a moment. 1-2. Holderman looks over at first. Sets. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit once again. It's a foul ball. All right, 1-2 count again to Nico Horner. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. The Cubs finding themselves again just hanging in there with the Pirates, or vice versa. This is going to be a jammed ball to third. IKF throws to first, gets him by a step. Oh, what a play by IKF, but that does move the runner to second, as again the Reds still up 1-0 in that one. That is a very interesting game. Again, the Brewers trying to go for 15 wins in a row. Dansby Swanson coming to the plate, batting .248, OPS of 701, 18 homers and 55 RBIs. Swanson is 0 for 1 on the day. Brewers' Tyler Black walked, then got caught stealing. Oh, that is tough. They're trying to keep it going as that's going to be inside ball 1. 1-0 here to Dansby. Swanson again, a runner on second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. As Holderman sets, kicks, and deals. That's in there for a called strike. 98 on the outside corner. One and one as the game seems to be slowing down a little bit. You can kind of all feel it here. Here is the pitch. That's going to be low for ball 2. Just slowing down, a lot more time in between stuff. Not much happening. Really, it's been like this the entire series. Not much offense. Pirates again winning 3-2 Friday. Cubs winning 3-1 yesterday. Three runs might be it. As here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to left. If it's fair, it's gone. That one is foul. Swanson had the distance, but couldn't keep it straight. He yanked it way out in front. So 2-2 count. Dan, it's a win for the Cubs. I'm assuming talking about the Reds and Brewers. Two and two to Swanson. Holderman kicks and deals. That is outside ball 3. Holderman still looks like the Holderman of this year, not necessarily the Holderman of years past. Three and two. Holderman rocks, sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit, and that is going foul. Man, 3-2 count again. Holderman at 17 pitches. You just definitely feel for him. Again, he was a very excellent reliever for the Pirates the past few years. Here's the 3-2. That's going to be hit, and once again a foul ball. Last year he had an ERA in the 1s for the first half of the season, and then he just slowly started losing it. And he finished with a 3, which looks really good on paper, but, we all kind of like, okay, well, something's wrong. And then he started off the season, as you can see, his ERA entering the game was a 9. Just now being brought back up after 3 months in the minors, and I don't think he was pitching well there either. 3-2, Holderman kicks and deals. Ground ball, and that is going to be fair down the left field line. Pham is booking it. And it looks like the Cubs are going to score. Pham's having trouble. He's throwing to third. And he is safe. Pham could not get the ball. He just couldn't pick it up. He was slipping and sliding over there in the dirt. The Cubs have taken the lead late. Not necessarily late, but in the 5th. You know what I'm saying. Unbelievable. Oh, and I just saw it hit the third base bag. Oh, that is so unfortunate. IKF may have had a play on it had it not done that. Oh, geez, and the luck against Swanson taking advantage of Pham just going crazy and left, just couldn't get the ball, couldn't pick it up. There's a mound visit underway. Gosh, Pham, that was not so fantastic. Tommy Pham has been fantastic at the plate, and he's made some nice plays on defense, but that one, not so fantastic. Left field dirt, and it's not raining over there, but it turned into a slip and slide. Pham initially misses it, then tries to pick it up again. Pick it up, fumble again, pick it up, fumble again. That is an iconic Triskaideka call there. Shout out Trisk. All right, looks like we're back. Matt Shaw coming to the plate, runner on third. The Cubs have just taken the lead 2-1, looking to add on as the Pirates infield is in. They're coming in. Here is the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball as he checked his swing. 0-1. Shaw is 0 for 1. Again, batting .228 on the year, OPS of .692, 10 homers, 32 RBIs. Cubs again looking for more. 3 runs have pretty much won each game this series. One more and that might do it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Yep, picked it up, fumbled again. Again, that is a iconic Triskaideka call there. Definitely a great announcer. 0-2 count. Here is the pitch. Popped him up. Oh, and they're playing in, so they're going to have to run back. Triolo makes the catch for out number 2. And that will bring up Michael Busch. I don't know if there's a mound of us here. This might do it for Holderman. It's batting 280 or 262, pardon me. OPS of 846, 24 homers and 68 RBI. Yep, that's going to do it for Holderman. Holderman will concede. Holderman again. You have to feel for him. He's just lost all confidence as we're in a pitching change. Cubs leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th, the White Sox have a no-hitter going. Wow, look at that. No-hitter against the Royals. Royals are trying to sneak into the playoffs as well. They're 62 and 61, just a few games back. In the AL side of things, just 4 games back there. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's free, by the way. You won't have to pay a dime. Again, I do mostly Pirates, as you can probably figure that out. But, of course, they won't be in the postseason, barring an epic run. I mean, I don't think that's happening. But I'll probably see the Cubs. Hopefully I see you guys there. Of course, again, I'll be covering the NL side of the postseason and the World Series. As many games as I possibly can do. And here are your scores from around Major League Baseball. I know the Cubs fans here probably looking at the Reds-Brewers game. Reds, of course, leading 1-0 as they are in the top of the 9th. The Brewers winning streak may be ending at 14. Again, that's a heck of a run. That is a heck of a run. But all streaks have to come to an end. As again, we do have a pitching change. The Pirates will have Andrew Heaney, the former starter. He is now in the bullpen. 5-10 record, 4.99 ERA, whip of a 1.32. Again, you can see why he's being moved to the pen. Last 7 appearances, 7.96 ERA. The doc is in feeding his delayers. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, District. That one might have been a miss there. But thank you for stopping on by. Reds 3 outs away. Yep, they are 3 outs away. And the Cubs fans here definitely like the sound of that. They're going to be pulling for everybody that plays the Brewers. Of course, they play the Brewers I believe they play them tomorrow as well. 5-game series. Here is the pitch. That's going to be chopped foul. If you're just joining in, again, the Cubs have just taken the lead. Pitching change just now happened. The Cubs leading 2-1. Runner on third with 2 outs. 0-1 counts to Michael Busch. Trisk cheering on the Brewers. That's interesting. The world must be ending. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. 81-mile-per-hour breaking ball. I wonder how hard they tried to trade. I really think they were pushing for it, Denny. I really think so. Again, he had been struggling, and he has such a huge contract. They're like, just take anybody. We'll take anybody in your system. The worst-rated prospect. We're good. Here is the 0-2. That is in the dirt for ball 1. The Cubs have Ben Brown warming up in the bullpen, so looks like he'll be out there for the 6th. 1-2 counts. Heaney kicks and deals. That is upstairs for ball 2. Lefty on lefty. Busch is 0 for 2 on the day. Heaney delivers the 2-2. That is low for ball 3, working it back from 1-2 to 3-2. Runner on third, 2 outs. Cubs looking for another run. Here is the pitch. Ground ball to first, and Horowitz is going to beat Bush to the bag for out number 3. But the Cubs take the lead thanks to Swanson. Swanson hitting the ball off the third base bag. I'm sure he meant to do that. And Pham, of course, fumbling the ball in left field, picking it up and fumbling again, picking it up and fumbling again. That was just unfortunate. 2-1, the Cubs lead over the Pirates as we head to the top of the 6th. And once again, folks, thank you guys for stopping on by. Appreciate you guys for letting me voice this one for you. Thank you guys again. Make sure to leave a like if you can. Press that like button. Looks like that. If you see a button on your screen, you can find it. I know you can. Definitely press that button and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. DeLay. Again, I'm a Pirates fan, but I'm sure I'll see you guys very, very soon, or at least these teams. So, for the Cubs and the Brewers, of course, and all that good stuff. All that good stuff. And, of course, football's just right around the corner. So don't forget to subscribe if you're also a football fan. Again, every Steelers game I'll be doing, but you guys will be voting on the other games I'll be doing as well. So at least 2 games every single Sunday. I'll be doing Steelers. You guys vote for the other one. The other one I'll be calling later that afternoon. What is happening across Major League Baseball? I can tell you the Phillies defeated the Nationals 11-9. The Red Sox and the Marlins are tied at 3 in the top of the 9th. Reds leading 1-0 over the Brewers in the top of the 9th. But the Brewers have a man on with nobody out. Very interesting there. Rangers leading the Blue Jays 8-2. Braves leading the Indians 5-4. White Sox no-hitting the Royals 2-0. The Orioles leading the Astros 5-0. The Twins, they are leading the Tigers 7-1, and Zeros in Arizona as they host, Zeros in Denver as they're hosting Arizona there. All right, Ben Brown, the new pitcher for the Cubs, 5-7 on the season, 5.89 ERA, whip of a 1.43. Looks like he was a former starter. As that'll bring up Nick Gonzalez. It's batting .276, OPS of .715. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. He went strike 1. 5 homers and 19 RBIs on the season. Here is the 0-1. That's going to be hit to the right, and that is a foul ball. 0-2 count to Nick Gonzalez. Again, he's 1 for 2 on the day. So what's the last? I've never seen Dumb and Dumber. I don't watch many movies. 0-2 count. Brown kicks and deals. That's going to be in the dirt for ball 1. Count is 1-2. Horrible ERA, but we'll pitch aces versus. Assad earlier had a 9 ERA and only allowed 1 run. 1-2 count. Brown kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to left, and Happ isn't able to get there in time as that's going to drop in for a base hit. He was playing very deep. Very interesting there. And the Pirates will take advantage. Leadoff single for the Pirates. That'll bring up Jack Suwinski. He's batting .122, OPS of .512. 3 homers and 6 RBIs. Suwinski is 0 for 2 on the day. Triscus Amon, it's really only so I can pick him out of the crowd. Here is the pitch. That's going to be low for ball 1. 1-0 counts to Captain Jack. 0 for 2 again, reached on a fielder's choice earlier, beating out the potential double play. Brown looks over at first, sets, kicks, and deals. That is going to be outside. So it's 2-0. Two-0 count to Jack Suwinski. Brown sets. Looks over at first. Kicks and deals. That is upstairs, ball 3. Fearing the power that Jack Suwinski has. Again, he might be scoffing at that, but he does have some serious raw power. He really does. Only has 12 hits on the year. 3 of them are home runs. 3-0. Brown delivers. Taking all the way as that's right down the middle for a called strike. Again, the Cubs have just taken the lead in the bottom of the fifth. They lead 2-1. The Pirates looking to tie it up. 3-1 count. Brown kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 96 on the outside corner. Dr. Why does Pitt College go away from the main colors that all the major teams use? Well, it's a college. Colleges are different than the pro teams. It would be cool to see a black and a gold alternate. 3-2 counts. Brown kicks and fires. Checked his swing. Did not go. Ball 4, and the Cubs fans are pretty upset. I don't know if they're upset with the call or the walk. But that makes it runners on first and second with nobody out. That'll bring up Jared Triolo. He's batting .191, OPS of .569, 3 homers and 13 RBIs. Triolo is 0 for 1 with a walk in the fourth inning. Like, I'd love to see the Pitt Panthers though with the black and yellow. You know, that'd be so good. That'd be a good uniform. Here is the pitch. That is inside for ball 1. Brown is having some trouble here. And what happened last time in the bottom of the second, the Cubs taking the lead 1-0, and the Pirates retaliated with a run of their own in the top of the third. Pirates looking to kind of repeat that situation here in the sixth. Here's the 1-0. That is low, but it's called a strike. Getting a call there. Would have looked pretty good at 2-0, but instead it's even at 1-1. The Brewers have taken the lead in Cincinnati 2-1. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Christopher with the update there. That is amazing. The Brew Crew just won't go away. They just keep winning. 1-2 count. Brown sets and fires. Swing and a miss. He struck out Triolo. Triolo not too happy. Of course, that strike call was very unfortunate. And that'll bring up the greatest catcher of all time, Joey Bart. He's batting .241, OPS of .661, 2 homers and 19 RBIs. Runners on first and second with just 1 out. Brown looks back at second, kicks and deals. Chopper, foul. Pirates used to be red and blue, yes. Steelers were brown, and the Penguins took the Pirates and Steelers colors from the form. University of Pittsburgh predates all of them. Okay, I did not know that. 0-1 counts. Brown sets. Looks back at second. Kicks and deals. Checked his swing. Did not go as it's 1-1. Dan says go Cubs. Trisk is losing it about the Brewers. 1-1. Brown looks back at second. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Brown got himself into a mess. But he may be getting out of it as Bart is going to ask for time. Pirates with 2 on and no outs will not score. Yeah, it would not surprise me. That's typical Pirates. Cleveland wishes the Steelers or the Browns. Oh, yeah, for sure. 1-2. Here is the pitch. That's going to be low for ball 2. Count is 2-2. Again, runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the sixth. The Pirates just trying to tie it up. Brown, though, looking to get out of the mess that he made. As Brown sets on the 2-2. Looks back at Gonzalez at second. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to left, and that is going to get down for a base hit. That's in the ivy. Gonzalez is home. Sawinski heading home. He is safe, and the Pirates have taken the lead here in the top of the sixth. Joey Bart, I just said he was the greatest catcher of all time, and look at me go. Oh, man, he's so good. Coming through there with the 1 out, 2 RBI double. That will bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and they're showing Suwinski. He was booking it immediately. He knew it the whole way. Didn't even look at the sign. He was just going. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa batting .268, OPS of .639. Suwinski's all smiles. 1 home run and 33 RBIs. The Pirates have taken the lead in the top of the 6th. The Brewers have taken the lead in the top of the 9th. The Cubs' day, oh man, it just doesn't seem to get any good. Looking good just a few moments ago, of course, with the Reds taking the lead in the late and of course winning heading into the 9th. And the Cubs, of course, taking the lead here, but just like that, the Pirates and the Brewers coming through, as that's going to be a foul ball. 0-1. Chris, come on, Pirates. Would be nice. 0-1 count to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Brown sets, kicks, and deals. That's in there for a called strike. Again, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. Brown had kind of been he had been struggling a little bit, and that's kind of why they moved him to the pen. And he got himself into a little bit of trouble. Looks like he was going to get out of it, and then all of a sudden, that is not the case. Here's the 0-2. That is in the dirt. Good stop there by Kelly, as it's 1-2. It's always looking good, Dan. Okay, all right. I like the positivity there. 1-2 count. Of course, again, against the Pirates, you always have a chance to win. Here is the 1-2. That's going to be hit to short. Swanson's throwing to third, and Bart is out. That was a good play by Swanson, taking advantage of the speed or lack of speed from Bart. My voice is starting to go away. We got to drink some water. All right. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he's at first. 2 outs. That'll bring up Ronnie Simon. It's batting .224, OPS of .572, no homers and 5 RBIs. Kyle's saying the 2-run home run from the Brewers. Yeah, I know the Brewers have taken the lead, but I don't know if you're including that one from earlier. Okay, it was the one that you're... Okay, gotcha. All right, Brown sets, kicks, and deals. That is outside for ball 1. Ronnie Simon, he is 0 for 3 as there are the Jets. Again, the Jets are back. Actually, that was just 1. 1-0 count. Brown sets, kicks, and deals. Ground ball, and that's going to get through for a base hit, keeping the inning alive. The diving attempt there. IKF is at third because he was running, moving the Cubs infield out of position, and Simon takes advantage. All right, the Pirates may not be done here. Marte will not be Smarte. Reds have 1 batter on base. If Marte hits a home run, it's a win. We'll see. Spencer Horwitz at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Has an RBI already. Looking for more. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. Tosses to first for out number 3. But the Pirates get 2 as they take the lead here in the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Pirates leading 3-2 over the Cubs. Wow. What a moment. Looks like the Brewers and the Reds again. Look at that. Runners on the corners for the Reds with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Wow, that is an amazing game. Anyway, folks, again, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, definitely press that like button. Looks like that. I don't know why. Every single time I put up the wrong one. That one. And definitely press that button and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Lay. Of course, again, I'm a Pirates guy. But yeah, no, again, I do bounce around Major League Baseball. And, of course, I will be doing the postseason. So I'm sure I'll see you Cubs fans there. I'll see the Cubs there. And if you're a Cubs fan, definitely subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you're a Pirates fan and haven't already done that, like, okay, I see how it is. Like, come on. Come on. I think it might just be a little personal at this point. But that's okay. Again, if you also like football, I'll be doing plenty of football. A lot of Steelers, of course, every single Steelers game. But I'll be having polls every single week, and the winner of that poll will be the other game I call on that Sunday. As my voice might need a little bit of a rest after this game, so I'm going to be mute the rest of the day. Did 2 games yesterday. I got to warm up the voice for football because I'm doing 2 games every single Sunday. All right. Looks like, I don't know what in the world's happening here. I think game day has been frozen. We're going to go and refresh. There we go. Kyle Tucker is going to be due up here as we're returning to Chicago. The Pirates have, again, just taken the lead over the Cubs 3-2. Tucker's batting .264. OPS of .828. 18 homers and 62 RBIs. As Heaney is back out there for the 6th. As Heaney kicks and deals. That's going to be low for ball 1. Tucker batting again .264. OPS of .828, 18 homers and 62 RBIs. He's 0 for 2 on the day. 1-0. Here is the pitch. Chopper to first, and looks like that stayed fair. Tucker didn't even move. Oh, he was hoping that would go foul. And the Cubs fans are booing. That'll bring up Seiya Suzuki. Seiya Suzuki batting .250, OPS of .819, 27 homers and 86 RBIs on the season. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody on. As Heaney kicks and deals. That is inside for ball 1. One and out to Suzuki. Heaney delivers the 1-0. That'll be in there for a called strike. The Reds have just tied it up. Wow, they've just tied it up in Cincy. Oh, man. Here is the 1-1. That is going to be low for ball 2. That is amazing. That must be a pretty good game. 2-1. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 82 on the changeup. Had him out in front. Heaney kicks and deals. That is going to be low for ball 3. Again, Suzuki 0 for 2 on the day. Cubs not really much offense, though. Whenever they do get base runners, they seem to get them all at one time. As here is the 3-2. Checked his swing, made contact. That is a foul ball. Count is full for Seiya Suzuki. Again, the Pirates leading 3-2, taking the lead in the top of the 6th. As Heaney kicks and deals. That is upstairs, ball 4. The Cubs fans and the Cubs team, Suzuki, they all like it. As Chase Sugart will be warming up in the Pirates bullpen. That'll bring up Pete Crow Armstrong. It's batting .258, OPS of .817, 27 homers, 79 RBIs on the season. Heaney looks over, kicks and deals. That is going to be outside for ball 1. Pardon me. Again, Pete Crow Armstrong 0 for 2, reached on an error, but he did, of course, come across to score in the second. 1-0 count. Heaney sets and fires. That's going to be popped up. Will it get out of play? Gonzalez running over, and that will become a souvenir. One and one count, 1 out, 1 man on. Pirates leading by 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Looking at the poll, the Cubs have taken the lead in the poll, 43 votes. Cubs at 51%, Pirates at 49%. Wow. 1-1, here is the pitch. That is outside for ball 2. Heaney definitely pitching around Pete Crow Armstrong. Despite it being lefty on lefty, you would think Heaney would have a little bit more confidence. But again, Crow Armstrong's had a pretty breakout year, honestly. Just the power coming out of nowhere. 2-1. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying. Wow. Okay. Well, 2-2 count is he's going to have to go get his bat. Everyone's head's just immediately turning. All right, Crow Armstrong getting some more tape. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Again, a 2-2 count here. As Crow Armstrong's looking for his first hit of the day. And it would be a big one here, trying to keep this going. 2-2. Heaney sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit, and that's going to get past Gonzalez for a base hit. Simon running in. He's throwing to third. Questionable decision. And Crow Armstrong is going to take advantage as he's at second. Unbelievable. Why in the world? Oh, that is a killer. Because the runner was clearly going to be at third. I mean, geez, Well, regardless of what I think, it's runners on second and third with one out. That'll bring up Carson Kelly. Kelly batting .267, OPS of .825, 13 homers, 39 RBIs, and that's going to do it for Heaney. Heaney is done. Oh, my goodness. So a pitching change in Chicago. Runners on second and third with one out. They'll be right back. I, of course, will be right here. Brewers with another nail-biter. Yes, I've been kind of keeping tabs on it. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Bases loaded with two outs. Let me go ahead, since we're on a see if I can find that game real quick. Bases loaded, two outs. I'm going to go ahead while there's a pitching change here. There's a pop-up. Looks like I just switched over to it, and he makes the catch. And they are going to extras in Cincinnati. Wow, that is crazy. Brewers, again, they had taken the lead of the ninth. The Reds, the rallying Reds, pushing it to extras, looking like they could have won the game, but not happening there in Cincy. So there we go. I'll try to provide as many updates as I can, especially during the mound visits. Once again, folks, if you like what you see, definitely like and subscribe. For more play-by-play with Dr. DeLeo, again, I do mostly Pirates, but I do bounce around Major League Baseball. And it is possible. I'm not going to catfish you guys like, oh, I'm definitely doing the Cubs-Brewers game on Wednesday night. But it's looking like I may be able to do it, very likely. This will be your new pitcher for the Pirates. Shugart is 4-3 on the year, 3.64 ERA, whip of a 1.12. Last 7 games, though, struggling, 4.91 ERA. So we'll see what we get from him. He did pitch in the Brewers game, one of the Brewers games, 3 innings, 1 earned run. As again, Carson Kelly at the plate. As he will face Shugart. Runners on second and third with just 1 out. Again, the Pirates leading 3-2, but the Cubs with a great opportunity to at least tie it up. The Reds are terrible in extras. Oof. Not good. Not good for the Reds fans. Not good for the Cubs fans. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to right, and that is a foul ball. 0-1 here. Again, the show and Chase's stats, 3.64 ERA. Opponent batting average of .213. But, again, last 7 appearances, not too solid at all. As the infield is in for Pittsburgh, here is the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 1. Kelly is 0 for 2 on the day, looking for his first hit. Shugart shakes his head. Doesn't like it, but sets anyway. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit Popped up. Sawinski booking it. Simon booking it. Can't make the catch, and Sawinski has to go back. 1 run will score. Throw to the plate is going to keep Armstrong at third. So the Cubs have just taken the or tied it up, pardon me, and may be taking the lead very soon. Sawinski and Simon. It was just like a little blooper. Simon with a diving attempt. You got to like the effort there. Hopefully the Pirates can help extend the Brewers' division lead to 10. I don't know. We'll see. I think the Pirates have already given all we could on Friday. That'll bring up Ian Happ. He's batting .227, OPS of .711. 16 homers, 56 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. Did not go. Again, runners on the corners with 1 out. The Cubs fans are loud. Let's go, Cubs. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike, and the Cubs fans didn't like that call, though that one was well in the zone. I'm sorry, Steven. It's just the way the Pirates are. They are the Pirates. 1-1 count. Here is the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. On the outside corner, 96. Brewers Reds going to extras. Yes, I just saw that. I actually tuned in just to call the pop-up there with 2 outs. 1-2 counts. Shugart looks over, kicks and deals. Called strike 3. Didn't even pick up his bat. Didn't even do nothing. No swings there other than the check swing. He struck him out. That'll bring up Nico Horner. He's batting .293, OPS of .716, 4 homers and 48 RBIs on the season. Again, runners on the corners, but with 2 outs. 3-3 is your score. For the first time this series, more than 3 runs will be needed to win the game. Shugart delivers. That is outside for ball 1. Breaking ball that just kept going. Well, that didn't last long. Yeah, it didn't. It didn't, Denny. I know. Typical Pirates. 1-0 count. Horner 0 for 2 again. Flew out and grounded out earlier. As Shugart looks over at first. Sets. Kicks and deals. That is going to be, I guess it's upstairs. 2-0. 2-0 count. Shugart looking over. Sets on the 2-0. Kicks and fires. That is inside ball 3. Jeez, 3-0 count. Crow Armstrong has a huge lead over there at third. Shugart sets and fires. That is outside ball 4. The bases are loaded for Chicago. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And that will bring up Dansby Swanson, who is 1 for 2 on the day, batting .249, OPS of .706, 18 homers, and 56 RBIs. RBI double in the 5th. No matter what happens, we're either going to the next inning or the Cubs will take the lead. Here's the pitch. That is going to be low for ball 1. That is going to be settled after this at-bat. 1-0 to Swanson. Cubs fans are standing. They are loud. Shugart sets and fires. That is outside ball 2. As Shugart can't locate the strike zone. That is never good if you're a pitcher. 2-0 count. Shugart kicks and deals. That's going to be popped up. Can they make the catch this time? Simon is under it, and Simon will make the catch for out number 3. Cubs tie it up here in the bottom of the 6th, so we head to the top of the 7th with the score 3-3. Wow, the Cubs had bases loaded, had an opportunity, just couldn't make it happen again. The Pirates with 8 hits today, 3 runs. The Cubs with 4 hits and 3 runs. Cubs, again, whenever they get on base, they take advantage. They take advantage. They get all their stuff done with people on. Let's go. Come on, Pirates, beat the Cubs, hopefully. The Brewers couldn't take the lead in the 10th. Wow, the Reds will have an opportunity to win it. Wow, that is crazy. Once again, folks, if you haven't done so already, make sure to press the like button. Press that button and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. DeLay. Again, I mostly do Pirates, but I do try to bounce around whenever I can. Of course, if I can't do a Pirates game, I will be doing other games. And, of course, I'll be doing the postseason. Obviously, the Pirates won't be there, barring a amazing 38-game winning streak to end the season. I don't think that's going to happen. So, again, I'll be doing a lot of NL postseason and, of course, the World Series. And, of course, I'll be doing a lot of football. And it's not just Steelers. You guys will be voting on games I'll be doing, but I will be doing every Steelers game. So, again, if you're a Pittsburgh fan in here, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you don't want to, well, then I think, wow, well, then, geez, that is just hurtful. It'll be okay. But here are your scores from around Major League Baseball. Again, the Reds, Brewers tied at 2 apiece, bottom of the 10th. Rangers leading the Blue Jays 8-4. Braves leading the Indians 5-4. Tied up in Kansas City 2-2 against the White Sox. Orioles leading the Astros 7-0. Twins over the Tigers 8-1. Yankees and Cardinals 3 apiece. Diamondbacks and Rockies 0-0. Angels leading the Athletics 3-0. Zeros in San Francisco. Zeros in Los Angeles. Phillies defeated the Nationals 11-9. And the Marlins over the Red Sox 5-3. As that's going to be a fly out to left as we're returning to action with already an out. Thank you, Pittsburgh Sportsnet. You're the best. All right, so already 1 out. Again, I do apologize, but Pittsburgh Sportsnet is definitely the worst. That'll bring up Tommy Pham. He's 0-3, batting .261, OPS of .704. 6 homers and 34 RBIs on the season. He's 0-3 today. Brown is still in the game. Swanson biting his jersey. As Brown kicks and deals. That is going to be low for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to the legendary Tommy Pham. Here is the pitch. That's right down the middle for a called strike. 1-1 is the count. 1 out. Here is the pitch. Chopper, and that is a foul ball. Again, the Pirates have been able to retaliate every single time the Cubs score in the bottom half of an inning today. The Pirates in the following inning have scored. We'll see if it keeps up here. 1-2 count to Tommy Pham. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a chopper, and that is a foul ball. It's a windy day in Chicago. That's a shocker. Windy city, I know. Brown delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out 97 on the gun. So very quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Nick Gonzalez. He's batting .279, OPS of .720, 5 homers, and 19 RBIs on the season. As Brown delivers. That is going to be upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 counts. Dan saying, go Cubs. Here is the pitch. That is upstairs, ball 2. Hap chokes what he does best. Counsell hits him ahead of Nico Shaw. Well, I don't know. I don't know all the inner workings of the Cubs. That is tough. Here is the 2-0. That is right down the middle for a called strike. 2-1. Brown kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 count to Nick Gonzalez. As Brown sets, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Pirates cannot retaliate this time around, so we head to the bottom of the 7th. Your score is 3-3, Pittsburgh and Chicago. Oh my goodness. The Reds have just defeated the Brewers in the bottom of the 10th. I'm assuming that is correct. So if that is correct, the Reds have won. Let me go ahead and just double check. That is, wow. We may have just seen the ending of that one. Let me see. I'm tuning in now. I'm trying to see. Yep, the Reds have just walked it off. Austin Hayes. Wow, so the Brewers' streak will end at 14. I mean, that's still very impressive. So that is looking good for the Cubs. Again, the Cubs can't afford to lose a series to the Pirates. You expect to at least win 2 at home against the battling Buccos, but again, baseball, you never know what can happen on any given day. Of course, the Brewers, again, winning 14 in a row. You never know. It's so random. Flip a coin. And that's pretty much how it goes for baseball. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on this live stream. It really helps out this little channel. Make sure to give a thumbs up. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. Again, we've been here since opening day. I've been doing this since opening day. Of course, again, it's mostly Pirates, but again, I do bounce around, and of course, I'll be doing the postseason as well. So if you need a voice for the postseason, I am here. I will be here. Of course, again, football is kind of my thing as well. So if you're a football guy or gal, here you go. We got it. We got it right here. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter as we're returning to Chicago. Or again, it's 3-3. I believe this is Casey. I really couldn't tell you, but he's 0 for 4 in his young MLB career. As here is the pitch. Ground ball foul. Yes, it is Owen Casey. Was just called up a few days ago, so congratulations to him. 0-1 count to Casey. Shugart kicks and deals. That's going to be popped up. IKF is under it and will make the catch for out number 1. Still looking for his first big league hit. That'll bring up Michael Busch. Michael Busch is batting .261, OPS of .843, 24 homers and 68 RBIs. Busch is 0 for 3. Sugar delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Again, the Reds have just walked it off on the Brewers. The Brewers' 14-game winning streak is over. That's going to be upstairs, ball 1. Very impressive streak for Milwaukee. 1-1 counts as Sugar sets, kicks, and deals. That is in there for a called strike. 93 at the knees. Counsel and half our Cubs' biggest problem. 16 million. Ross was smarter. I don't know if there's any Cubs fans. Feel free to let us know what you think on that, as that's going to be hit, and that is just foul down the right field line. 1-2 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Pirates Cubs 3-3. 3 runs is not going to be enough today. It was enough Friday and Saturday, not on Sunday. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to left, and that is foul. Landing on top of the left field wall over there. Took a big bounce. So Busch will retreat back to someone lost their sunglasses. That is unfortunate. Once again, 1-2. Nobody on. 1 out. Shugart delivers. Chopper Foul. Sunglasses are still out there. I've been trying to negotiate if you can try to get Fam to help you out there. And that's going to be, oh, nice play by Gonzalez. Throws to first for out number 2. A ground ball. Gonzalez with a nice play. Oh, man, Gonzalez keeping that from going into right. That was hard hit. That was hit very well. Gonzalez, great reactions to keep it in the infield. And that'll bring up Kyle Tucker, batting .263, OPS of .826, 18 homers and 62 RBIs. Tucker's 0 for 3. Here is the pitch. That is going to be inside for ball 1. Tom Casper, let's go Pirates. We'll see. Again, the Pirates, they've already taken 1. I think that is probably the limit you can ask for. As Sugart sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Tucker doesn't like the call. 1-1. Cubbies might lose the next 5 to the Brewers. Oh, I don't know about that. Here's the 1-1. Checked his swing. Did not go. Ball 2. Well, that would be a pretty big hole if the Brewers were to sweep the Cubs. I mean, that would... I don't think the Cubs would win the division at that point. That would be a pretty big hole. Looks like Sugar's going to ask for Bart to come here because I don't know if there's a pitch comm issue or whatnot. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on the video, the live stream. Again, feel free to leave a like as this mound visit is about to end. All right, 2-1 count to Tucker. 2 outs, nobody on. Pirates, Cubs tied at 3 apiece. Sugart sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit, and that is a foul ball. Tucker again 0 for 3. He is, I was told he was in a slump. I can't recall. Yes, he's still in the last 30 games batting .190. It is not good. Here's the pitch. That is inside. So it's 3-2. Hopefully that'll move. What the heck? 3-2 counts. Sugart sets, kicks, and deals. That is low for ball 4, so Tucker draws the walk. And that'll bring up Seiya Suzuki. He's batting .250, OPS of .820, 27 homers, 86 RBIs. Again, a runner on first, despite what the screen may say. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Sugart looks over at first. Sets. Kicks and fires. That is upstairs for ball 1. Suzuki again 0 for 2, but he did walk and did come across the score in the 6th. 1-0 count. Sugart rocks, sets, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. 87 on the breaking ball. 1-1. Sugart looks over at first, sets, and fires. That is upstairs for ball 2. And Sugart asking for a new ball. This baseball is no good. We're going to hope it's the baseball there. 2-1. Tucker takes his lead. It's not a huge lead at all. Sugart sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit, and that is a foul ball. So 2-2. Cubs fans pretty happy again hearing the Brewers have finally lost. Cubs looking to take advantage. Trying to get a game. 2-2. Here's the pitch. That is outside ball 3. Shugart looks over at first. 3-2 count. Here is the pitch. That's going to be fouled back. So we'll do this again. Pirates relievers, again, they're using a lot of pitches to get outs here. It's a little nerve-wracking for the Pirates. Probably nerve-wracking for the Cubs as well. 3-2. Shugart looks over at first. He sets, and Suzuki will call for time. On deck is Pete Crow Armstrong. He's 1 for 3 on the day, but he's actually been on base twice due to an error. 3-2 count. Shugart delivers. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Suzuki can't believe it. Oh, he can't believe it. He doesn't like to call, but it was indeed in the strike zone. We head to the top of the 8th, where the score is 3-3, Pittsburgh and Chicago. Man, I thought they were really going to do something there. Honestly, I'm like, man, this is over. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning on in. Thank you for clicking on this live stream. I do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like. Press that like button. You can gently tap it, hit it, and whatever. You can do whatever you want. Make sure to press it, though, regardless. And, of course, definitely subscribe to the channel if you're a sports fan. If you like baseball, this is a great channel for you. Of course, I do Pirates play-by-play, but again, I do bounce around Major League Baseball, and of course, we'll be doing the postseason. So again, if you're a sports fan, baseball, football, whatever, this is a great channel for you. Again, I appreciate you guys for even clicking on the live stream. It really does help me out a lot. Red snap, yes, saw that, Chris. Brewers are finding ways to win while the Cubs are finding ways to lose. They've been slumping since the trades, the whole team. Yeah, the Cubs, I mean, yeah, it's been a little rough for them. Again, we did a little bit of a pregame. I don't do too much on it, like whenever I'm just starting up the stream. But, yeah, again, 4-6 in the last 10. I think they were 3-7 before yesterday's win. So, again, they have been struggling. But, again, the Cubs, still a really solid team. I mean, I think they'll get their act together. Have you been to PNC or Rivers? No, I have not. I have not. Would love to one day, but it's pretty hard for me to do so currently. I do live in Texas. I am a Pennsylvanian, born in Pennsylvania, but I do not live there anymore. And I was born in the eastern part of Pennsylvania. So I've been to Citizens Bank, been to the Reading Phillies plenty of times. But no, not been to a Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh, because that's going to be in there for a called strike. This is Jack Sowinski, 0 for 2 with the walk. I have seen the Pirates play in person, though, in Minute Maid and in the ballpark in Arlington, as that's going to be outside for ball 1. 1-1 count to Jack Sowinski. Again, it's 3-3. Pittsburgh and Chicago. Brown kicks and deals. That's going to be a foul tip. So it's 1-2. Anthony, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. We got a good one here. Pittsburgh and Chicago. Winner of this game wins the series. Brown delivers. That is just low for ball 2. So 2-2. Coffee beans, Dr. Pepper. That would be nice after this game. 2-2. Here is the pitch. That is low for ball 3. Sowinski working the count. 3-2. Brown kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right. And that one is off the ivy, and it's lost in the ivy. So look at that. Sowinski with the leadoff double. That jumped off the bat, and Tucker honestly turned and looked. He thought it was gone. Sowinski again. He has some power. He needs to make contact with the ball. Wow. So a leadoff double for the Pirates, and that'll bring up Jared Triolo. He's batting 190, OPS of 566, 3 homers and 13 RBIs. Brown looks back at second. kicks, and pickoff attempt, and Sawinski is back safe and sound. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you, man. Again, everyone, check out Anthony's channel as well. If you like viral clips, that's what he does. He loves the viral. Anything that is up-to-date viral stuff there. Here is the pitch. Showing bunt. It is down. Sawinski's going to take off to third. Triolo is out at first, but the Pirates have a runner just 90 feet away. Just in time for Joey Bart, who actually came through for once earlier. He's batting .245, OPS of .671, 2 homers and 21 RBIs. Again, a runner on third with 1 out. Here's the pitch. That is going to be in there for a called strike. Looked a little outside. Bart agrees with me. So maybe it was indeed in the zone. That's probably what it was now. Yeah, it definitely was in. 0-1 count. Brown sets. Infield is in. Kicks and deals. That is in there for a called strike. Brown attacking with fastballs. Oh, and 2 count. Brown delivers. That's going to be hit, and that is going foul. Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb. I'm still going to leave Dr. Pepper, but Mr. Pibb is pretty solid coming out of the fountain. That is a solid drink out of the fountain. 0-2 count. Brown sets and fires. Breaking ball outside. So the count is 1-2. And looks like the Cubs will have a guy warming up. Caleb Thielbar warming up in the Cubs bullpen. 1-2 is the count to Joey Bart. We need a Bart dart. Brown kicks and deals. Swing and a miss way upstairs at his eyes. He struck him out. Gotta love that. You got to love that. Right at his face. And he thought it looked good. That'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's batting .267, OPS of .638, 1 homer, 33 RBIs, 2 outs, runner on third. Pirates and Cubs tied at 3 apiece. Brown sets, kicks, and deals. That is outside for ball 1. Again, Kiner-Falefa 1 for 3 on the day. And looks like Isaac Matson is going to be warming up in the Pirates bullpen. 1-0 count. Brown looks over at third. And he's going to step off, yes. Had a feeling that was coming. 1-0 count again to Kiner-Falefa. Brown sets, kicks, and deals. That is inside for ball 2. The Cubs fans behind home plate are like, where did that miss? Well, that was a foot inside, so they might need one of these, some glasses. 2-0 to IKF. Brown kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt. Pirates strand more leadoff base runners than 28 teams in the majors with 167. I don't know if that's true, Tris, because you've lied to us before. 2-1 count. Brown sets, kicks, and deals. That is outside for ball 3. I'd like to believe you, but you've shared some misinformation before. Some fake news, if you will. A flat-out lie. 3-1. Brown sets, kicks, and fires. That is upstairs, ball 4. He walks IKF. And now the inexperienced Ronnie Simon is going to be up, and that's actually going to do it for Brown. Brown is done. So we will have a pitching change. Ronnie Simon is a switch hitter, so I guess they just want to go with Thielbar. As that'll be it for Brown. Brown, 2 2/3, 2 earned runs, so not exactly the best performance. 4 strikeouts, though. Strikeout guy. So a pitching change here at the top of the 8th inning. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. They'll be right back. I'll be right here. It is not is Mr. Okay, this guy. Anyway, folks, if you like what you see, if you are a play-by-play fan, if you like sports in general, I definitely encourage you guys to press that like button and definitely subscribe to the channel. Plenty of play-by-play happening for as long as I can do this. I mean, I foresee me doing this for a while. I appreciate you guys again. Again, whenever I'm off, I pretty much call a game. Been calling a game pretty much every day for a good bit. You can look at it. Had a little bit of a vacation there, but other than that, I've been on here every single day. It is mostly Pirates, but again, I do bounce around every now and then. I am going to do my best to try to get Cubs and Brewers Wednesday night. I don't want to put it up there because I don't want to have to take it down, but yeah, I don't want to mislead you. But again, I'll be doing playoff baseball regardless if I'm not able to do it. So I'll definitely see you Cubs fans there if you're tuning in. Thank you again for clicking on it and listening to a Pirates guy. You know, I'm not going to be talking much trash to the Cubs because the Pirates are 20 games below 500. And honestly, even if we were 72-52, if that record were inversed, you know, it's a once-in-a-blue moon thing. I'm not used to winning. So I would know where to start with the trash talk. All right, Simon again approaching the plate. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. New pitcher is Caleb Thielbar. Thielbar, really solid out of the pen. 2-3 record, 2.25 ERA, whip below a 1, .86. He's been pretty good last 7 games. The ERA is a little bit higher, 3.18, but the whip again still solid. Doesn't allow many hits or walks. As Thielbar will set and deliver. Breaking ball upstairs for ball 1, 73 on the gun. Again, runners on the corners, 2 outs, top of the 8th. 3-3. Thielbar sets, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. 92 upstairs, strike 1. Count is 1-1. Thielbar will set and fire. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Simon was way late on that one. I guess he was sitting off speed. So 1-2. As Thielbar rocks and sets and fires. Swing and a miss. He struck him out right down the middle. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The score is 3-3. The leadoff double by Sawinski does not matter. That is so unfortunate. All right, let's see here. We got the Twins leading the Tigers 8-1. The Royals have taken the lead. They were getting no hit just a few innings ago, but now they find themselves leading the White Sox 6-2. Orioles leading the Astros 8-0. The Yankees and the Cardinals are tied at 4 apiece. Diamondbacks leading the Rockies 4-1. Rays and Giants tied at 0-0. The Angels lead the Athletics 3-1. Dodgers leading the Padres 4-0. The Phillies defeated the Nationals 11-9. Marlins over the Red Sox 5-3. Rangers they defeated the Blue Jays 10-4. Braves over the Indians 5-4, and the Reds again beating the Brewers in extras to snap that 14-game winning streak 3-2. Again, thank you guys so much for clicking on the live stream. Make sure to press that like button and hit the subscribe button for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Again, this is what I do. Play-by-play. A lot of Pirates, but I do bounce around. And, of course, football's just right around the corner. You can probably see what team I cheer for. I'll be doing every single Steelers game, but you guys every single week will be voting on the other game I do that Sunday. So definitely subscribe to take part in that. I will be calling games voted on by you guys. New pitcher for the Pirates for the bottom of the 8th will be Isaac Matson. Matson is 3-1, 2.03 ERA, whip of a 1.06. He's been pretty solid his last 7 games. ERA of a 1.17. His whip, though, is a 1.3. So he does allow a lot of base runners, but usually gets out of it. Due up for the Cubs is Crow, Armstrong, Kelly, and Happ. Pretty dangerous trio there, as I need some water. Pete Crow Armstrong batting .259, OPS of 820, 27 home runs and 79 RBIs. Matson delivers. That's going to be hit, and that's going to get through for a base hit. And that is not who you want on base if you're a Pirates fan, a.k.a. me. So, you know, he's definitely going to be in Matson's head, as that'll bring up Carson Kelly. He's 1 for 3, batting .269, OPS of 829, 13 homers, and 40 RBIs on the season. Matson looks over at first for what it's worth. Matson delivers. That is going to be upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 count. Matson looks over. Rocks, sets. Looks over again. Kicks and deals. That's going to be low for ball 2. As I just feel something in the air for the Cubs. It's not good for the Pirates. 2-0 count. Matson sets. Kicks and fires. That's going to be popped up. Gonzalez is going to let it drop. He's going to throw it to second. Oh, what a brilliant play by Gonzalez. Getting the speedy Crow Armstrong out. Oh, my goodness. And by that, I meant, oh, man, a brilliant play by Gonzalez. That was something special in the air. The Cubs fans are booing. That was amazing. Heads up by Gonzalez. That'll bring up Ian Happ, batting .226, OPS of 709, 16 homers and 56 RBIs. Just an amazing play by Gonzalez. Heads up, here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. Matson, there we go. Matson doing an emote there to Gonzalez. 0-1 count. Matson sets. Looks over at first, kicks and deals. That is going to be outside. Charles, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. We got some Pirates and Cubs, 3-3 Cubs, though, with the man on, with 1 out. 1-1 count. Matson sets. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Actually, it was a foul tip into the glove. 1-2. Smash them free subs and hit the like button. Show some love. Yes, thank you very much, Charles. Thank you guys, everyone, for just clicking on the live stream. That's really awesome of you guys. As Matson sets on the 1-2. Kicks and deals. That is inside ball 2. That's great to hear, Charles. Thank you again. 2-2 count. Matson sets. Looks over at first. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right center. Simon on the run. It's going to drop, and that is a ground rule double. And to be honest with you, that really saved the Pirates. Because if that stayed in, if that did not bounce over, that would have been an easy 4-3 lead for the Cubs. He crushed that ball against the wind. The wind is ferocious today. It killed it. So runners on second and third for the Cubs. That'll bring up Nico Horner. He's batting .293, OPS of 717, 4 homers and 48 RBIs on the season. And Horner, again, he's 0 for 2. It looks like they're going to walk him to load the bases, force at any base. And that will bring up Dansby Swanson. It's batting .249, OPS of .704, 18 homers and 56 RBI. Swanson is 1 for 3 on the day. Swanson already using his timeout. Loud ovation for him. First baseman is in. Matson sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be low for ball one. And all of Chicago, all of Wrigley is on their feet for this one. 1-0 count. Matson sets, kicks, and deals. Ground ball foul. Swanson with the grand slam. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's very likely. Yeah, I know it's a prediction. 1-1 count. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-3 is your score here in Chicago. Cubs with a great opportunity to take the lead late. Matson kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is slicing foul. Kelly at third, Happ at second, Horner at first. Lots of let's go Cubbies chants in my left ear. Again, Wrigley is loud and proud. Matson sets and fires. That's going to be hit to right, and this should be deep enough to score a run. He makes the catch. He's throwing home for what it's worth, and Kelly has scored. Sacrifice fly works. And the Cubs take the lead 4-3. And I'm assuming that's going to bring up Owen Casey. You keep putting a runner on second. I have no control over that, Randy. That is not me. I'm very sorry about that. Owen Casey's 0 for 5 in his young MLB career. Runners again on second and third. No, first and third, pardon me. This is not Casey. This is another guy. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside ball one. Who is this? Okay, this is Willie Castro. As it's a 1-0. 1-0 count to Willie Castro as my voice is starting to depart. Matson sets and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Castro's batting .237 on the season. OPS of .711, 10 homers, and 27 RBIs as Andrew Kittredge is going to be warming up in the Cubs bullpen. 1-1 count. Matson sets and fires. That is outside ball two. Two and one. Matson sets. And a pickoff attempt. And the Cubs will boo. Cubs fans, more accurately. All right, 2-1. Matson will set. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit, and that is a foul ball. So 2-2, 2 on, 2 outs. Cubs have just taken the lead 4-3 over the Pirates, looking for more. Castro is going to ask for time. It is, yeah, that is, it's a big at bat. Cubs fans were cheering and then they started booing. I don't know what in the world happened. 2-2 count. Matson sets. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit foul. This inning will drag on, Trisk. I'm very sorry. Cubs are battling. Have taken the lead late. As Matson sets. Looks over at first. Kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to center. Sawinski is under it and will make the catch. Just shy of the warning track for out number 4-3. All right, we head to the top of the ninth where the Pirates need another run to keep it going. It's 4-3 Cubs over the Pirates. Spinner Mason likes it. Let's go, Cubs. All right, possibly for one final time. Again, appreciate you guys for, again, clicking on the live stream. Appreciate you guys. Again, if you get a chance, definitely leave a like and definitely subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Of course, again, I do Pirates. That is the main thing I do. But, again, I do bounce around. And, of course, I'll be doing the postseason, so I'm sure I'll see the Cubs there. Hopefully I'll see you guys there if you need a voice for the Cubbies. And, of course, all the other NL postseason teams. Again, that is pretty much what I'll be doing. And, of course, a little bit of the World Series as well. Dan, let's go Cubbies. Yes, the Cubs have taken the lead. So I do appreciate you guys. And, of course, I'll be doing football as well. Of course, it'll be every Steelers game. But, again, polls every single week for the NFL. You guys will have a lot of say in the games I call. So if that sounds good to you guys, definitely subscribe to the channel. Again, appreciate you guys for even clicking on the live stream. It really does help me out a lot. Again, as you can probably see, I'm not the most popular play-by-play guy. We'll get there, though. A lot of progress in just a few months. Due up for the Pirates will be Horwitz, Reynolds, and Pham. And again, as mentioned earlier, Kittredge was warming up, and he will be out here for the ninth inning. Kittredge is 3-3 on the year, 3.86 ERA, whip of a 1.10. And he has pitched in both games so far against the Pirates. Has not allowed a run yet. All right, Spencer Horwitz will be coming up. Go Buccos. Yeah, we'll see. It'd be nice. It's batting .256, OPS of .701, 5 homers, and 34 RBIs. Again, Kittredge out there. We're going to hope that he is tired. He's pitched in every game so far this series. Here is the pitch. That is low for ball 1, 96 in the dirt. Horwitz is 1 for 4 on the day. Kittredge sets and fires. That is in there for a called strike. 97 on the inside corner. Horwitz had a RBI double earlier in this one. 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hits foul. As it's 1-2 to the Pirates' first baseman. Kittredge sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is a foul ball. Pulled it, had pretty good contact on it, just a little out in front. Horwitz taking his time to get back there, and that may benefit Kittredge. Again, he's been pitching a lot lately. One and two, Kittredge will set, kicks, and deals. That is in the dirt for ball 2. So 2-2 count to Spencer Horwitz. Cubs leading 4-3, as you can see on the scoreboard. If not, well, hey, that's why I got you 4-3. Here's the 2-2, way outside for ball 3. Would have been nice if there were base runners, because then the Pirates would have easily moved up there. That was to the backstop. Kittredge will set on the 3-2. Kicks and deals. Chopper, and that is a foul ball. Again, Horwitz just staying alive, being annoying to Kittredge, working that pitch count. And you have to wonder if this is the strategy. Again, I know it's been pretty solid against the Pirates, using him every game, and of course with the big series coming up. Here's the 3-2. That's going to be popped up. Happ and Armstrong both calling for it. Armstrong will win the call off and make the catch for out number 1. All right, one away for the Pirates. That'll bring up Brian Reynolds again, batting .245 OPS of .702, 13 homers and 61 RBIs. Kittredge sets and delivers. Ground ball, and that's going to stay fair, and he's going to beat Reynolds to the bag. Bush does it himself, and just like that, there's 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tommy Pham, who's 0 for 4 on the day. Did hit a homer yesterday. He's batting .260. OPS of .702, 6 homers and 34 RBIs. Kittredge sets and delivers. Chopper to third. Castro throws to first for out number 3. The Cubs will win the series 4-3 over the Pirates as the Cubs get their 70th win of the season. The Pirates will fall to 52-73. That's just how it goes. That is the life of the Pittsburgh Pirates and their fans. Jack 22. Yes, wow, that was a quick after Horowitz. It was pretty much nothing. As you can see, there's the box score. The Pirates with 3 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. The Cubs with 4 runs on 6 hits. Again, they took advantage. They got all their hits at pretty much the same time. The Pirates were spread out there as I take off the headset. Go Cubs, go in my left ear. Again, congratulations to you Cubs fans. I don't know if I'm happy to hear that, though. Great win, yes, to Dan. Yeah, no, good. Congratulations. I know you guys have a big series against the Brewers. So you definitely wanted to, of course, take advantage of one of the Brewers finally losing. I believe this is the first time all month you guys have been able to move up. You'll be, now you're 8 games back of the Brewers. So, big series. Again, I wish you guys the best of luck. Again, I don't want to tell you guys, hey, for sure, I'll be calling a game between Brewers and Cubs. But that is the goal. For Wednesday night. That is the plan. I don't want to say it's 100% happening, but that is the goal, Brewers and Cubs. And, of course, again, I'll be calling every single, or not every single, but, NL postseason. I'll be doing as many games as possible because I know the Pirates won't be there. So, again, I appreciate you guys for tuning on in. I appreciate you guys for, again, clicking on the live stream. Again, before you go, if you can, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And all you get is more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. That is me. So that'll pretty much do it for me. Again, congratulations to the Cubs and good luck against the Brewers. 2 top teams there. Maybe a playoff matchup. I'm sure that's very likely. Very, very likely for sure. And, of course, Pirates fans, I'll be back tomorrow for the Blue Jays series as we'll take on one of the AL's best teams, the Blue Jays. It's been a while since I've done a Blue Jays game, so there you go. We'll get to see the Blue Jays. But, again, thank you guys so much for stopping on by again. Just as proof again, it's not a one-time thing. I've been here since opening day. Again, it's a lot of Pirates games, but again, as you can see, I do bounce around because there's some times when I don't call the Pirates. But again, thank you very much. You guys all have a great rest of your Sunday. Me, I gotta go see what the family wants to do. I might be put to work, so that's so unfortunate. But again, I will be back tomorrow. I will catch you guys next time. Again, congratulations to the Cubs. Good luck against the Brewers. For us Pirates fans, it's on to Cincinnati. LOL, just kidding. It's on to Pittsburgh, where we host the Blue Jays. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I will catch you guys next time. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Leave a like before you go.